What is going on, guys? It is Arc's Guns, and I know it's been a while. I've been working on upgrading the studio up so I can bring you guys better content. I went ahead and upgraded by the backdrop. I went ahead and did the camera, microphone, and yeah, I've been slowly working on getting everything set up so I can go ahead and increase the production quality in my videos and just bring better stuff to you guys. But before we hop into the review, man, I'd like to ask you guys to go ahead and please hit the like and subscribe. It helps me grow my channel. I cannot do it without you guys, and you guys have helped me out to get to 3,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate that. And now let's just keep on moving, and let's jump into 5,000 subscribers. That's the next goal. So yeah, hit that like and sub, and I greatly appreciate it, guys. To get into this review, we're going to go ahead and break this down into 3 separate subjects, and for those 3 subjects, the first one's going to be pretty much as a quick specs. I'm not going to go into all the details of the specifications, just a quick spec sheets and pretty much my preferred specs and the things that stood out to me that I found interesting in regards to the Aimpoint Acro. Second thing is going to be ergonomics, and from there it's going to be like materials, build quality, and durability. And for the third one, it's going to be pretty much site presentation, my shooting experience, and my conclusion with the Aimpoint Acro. It is an absolutely amazing optic. It's got some very interesting features that I actually haven't heard a couple of them being mentioned before, but yeah, absolutely amazing optic, man. Let's go ahead and hop right into this first one. As you guys know, red dots are going to be the future for pistols and for rifles. And with these red dots comes tons of features. And one of the first features that stands out to me about this red dot is going to be its 5-year battery life, and that it's going to be powered by a CR2032 battery, which is very similar to the Holosun 5192, which offers a 5-year battery. To me, I believe like a lot of these optics should have a bare minimum of 1 year. So when you have something like this one coming in with a 5-year battery life, that is absolutely amazing, and it's kind of the stuff that I really enjoy about some of these higher end optics, that I won't have to worry about this till 5 years later down the line. Another quick thing that I liked about this one over here that's particular to me is that it comes with a 3.5 MOA, which I enjoy smaller MOAs. Something like a 5 MOA or 6 MOA is too large for me because of my astigmatism. So this coming in at 5 MOA was an amazing feature for me. That is a must. Another feature I like about the Aimpoint Acro P2 is going to be its 10 settings for the brightness that you come to this thing. That is going to be pretty much enough brightness settings to get this thing going. This is definitely going to be super, when you max this out of the daylight, it is bright, very easy to catch. And then when you come to nighttime, it is like just blinding. So you can actually adjust this to the perfect amount that you need. Obviously right now it's a little darker in this room, you can't tell because I got this lights on and stuff on. But from here, when I'm looking at it, it's, you know, it's a little bit bright. I can see a little bit of the splashing around, but in the daytime it's absolutely easy to catch, and just the perfect set point for me that it sits on there, which is for me is going to be at an 8, sometimes 9, but right now it's sitting at an 8, and that's what I've been rocking it the entire time for a while now. But that is another great thing that I like about this feature. And then along with the brightness settings that it's going to be obviously going with it is going to be those buttons. The buttons to adjust the brightness settings when you have to go ahead and mess with the optic to adjust something or do whatever you need to do. That's when you get again reminded of how nice this optic is. Those buttons are absolutely fantastic. Messing with pressing them to go up and down on them feel great. Pressing up or down on these are just very tactile. They feel very smooth, and they feel very similar on each push on both of them. So this is again when you get reminded in regards to when you have to mess with this red dot, is when you get reminded of how nice this is and why it's worth the price that it is. Now from here in this one, let's go ahead and talk about build quality on this. This has tons of features, and we already went through some of the most preferred features that stand out to me, but let's go ahead and talk about the build quality into this optic right over here. The first thing I want to talk about is the material that this is made out of. This is made out of a 7075 T6 hard anodized aluminum. It is very strong. If you look at Larry Vickers' video on this one, man, he's dropping this from a super high ladder coming down. And this is an incredibly durable optic. You can tell that a lot of thoughtfulness went into building the housing of this and how it's going to be set up, and also how the windows are stacked up in regards to the layers of the windows. Like when you actually look down this side and you come up and you're actually looking really clear to this, you can see that there's layers in the window in regards to like how the first one's gonna be like rubber, the second one's gonna be another seal, and just another seal. You can tell that there's a lot of protection going on in this optic, and that they went ahead and sacrificed that window size to give you even more durability, ultimately making this a very viable, long-lasting war optic to me. This is an absolutely amazing build quality, and the material used on this is absolutely phenomenal. Another thing I like about the Aimpoint Acro is going to be its low parallax. It's already been several videos showing out there that this optic has a very low parallax, and I know that when you go online and you start looking at this is sold as zero parallax, parallax free, and there is no such thing as parallax free. This has some parallax on it because it's been shown already by several YouTubers, but this has some of the lowest parallax of a lot of the optics. And another one that's actually really good with this one's going to be like EOTech. That has, again, very low parallax with that kind of stuff. And another feature that I like outside of the low parallax is also going to be that this can actually be submerged up to 115 feet. So it has some water resistance features into it, which is pretty freaking cool. And so yeah, if it ever falls into like a lake or a pool or something decently deep, it's actually going to be perfectly fine. And I've always found that to be an incredibly awesome feature. Another thing that I actually like about this a lot, which is pretty freaking awesome, is that this optic is EMP protected. So ultimately, if an EMP bomb goes off or something goes off in our area, or maybe a nuclear explosion, I guess maybe it goes off and a further distance and it knocks out a bunch of stuff, this is supposed to be EMP protected. Now, I'm not saying a nuclear explosion is actually going to be protected. This is going to be protected from an actual nuclear explosion, but I just thought that was an interesting feature. I know nuclear explosions can cause EMP effects outside of just an EMP bomb. But I thought that was a pretty cool feature to have on this optic reserve. I'm not too familiar if the Steiner MPS or the Holosun have EMP features like that, but this one has, and I thought that was pretty amazing. And the last thing that I wanted to mention about the Aimpoint Acro is that this can go all the way from -49 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit and still be within operational band, as that is what is stated on the website. I have to admit, man, this optic really does have a lot of very cool features, and it is a durable, super fancy, expensive tank. For site presentation and shooting experience, and pretty much my conclusion on this right over here, man, just to get into the first one, which is going to be site presentation, this actually has, it presents really well. You know, I don't have, like I mentioned before, I don't really see that tunnel effect that people mention that when they bring this up, they feel like they have like a tunnel effect in front of them. I just don't get that like that. It just, when I come up and I draw it, it just looks like the 508T or an RMR or something like that. But I feel like this has a very clean presentation as well. What helps out a lot with that clean presentation is obviously going to be Dawson's Precision's optic system, which mounts really great and co-witnesses really well. Dawson is known to have really amazing co-witness, and the co-witness that's provided after I zeroed this at 10 yards with the irons and everything, how it's set up, it just sits right a little bit right over the fiber. It is just such a clean, pretty much close to absolute witness, which I really like about this one right over here. Absolutely amazing, man. It presents really well. Not only does it present really well, it's very easy to go from target to target on this one and just do target transitions. I find this dot very easy to track. I find the window large enough to be able to follow it easily. You know, the Staccato C2 does not have like a ton of recoil like that. It's not like the lowest recoil gun. It's not a competition gun or anything like that. But it certainly doesn't have a lot of recoil. And following this up with this Aimpoint Acro, these two paired up with that Dawson, this is a really nice combination. But there is one thing that I don't like about this. And the one thing that I will mention that I don't like is going to be, and I'll zoom into this and show you guys, but pretty much how the rear plate for the Dawson Precision overhangs a little bit over the hammer, and you lose a bit of the real estate of the hammer on there. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. It doesn't really bother me. I can go ahead and pull the hammer back, no problem, like I just did. But you know, like I said, you just kind of lose a little bit of that real estate. And if you look at something like I have my Prodigy right over here, so I put my finger on this one so you guys can see. I put my finger on there and I can get my whole finger on there really cleanly, and not with this one. When I'll show you guys on a closer one if you can't see it from here, but you can see I lose a little bit of real estate, but still doable. The staccato C2 hammer and P hammer, all those have a lot of texture, so it's very easy to grip. But still, that's something for at this price range not to have that blended in and matching really well and clean. Was a little bit surprising to see from Dawson Precision Staccato that they'd let that pass down the line. But outside of this one little thing, this is actually an absolutely solid mounting system. There's just that little overhang right there. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Site presentation, easy to transition, easy to do a reload and come back into it and find my dot again. Absolutely no problem. If you guys are enjoying this content, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. I got a lot more content coming up. If you guys can see right over here, I have content on the Staccato CS, I have Bull Armory stuff, I have CZ Shadow 2. So go ahead and check some of those videos out, man. I have a lot of great stuff out there. And if you guys want to go ahead and hit the like and sub, it really goes a long way and helps me out. My shooting experience was very positive. It was very easy to zero this gun, and I'll go ahead and I'll show some stuff on that right there.
Zero the echo in. There you go, way up.
Zeroing this was very easy. I had to do some adjustments to get it, some large clicks in to first get it adjusted. But man, super simple. Once I got it adjusted, I went ahead and just took a couple of shots, and yeah, just a very impressive firearm, and I really enjoyed this one very much. Shooting this is really nice, really nice. It absolutely is a pleasure to shoot. For the conclusion on the Aimpoint Acro P2, ultimately, is it worth it? Is this actually worth $600+ for a red dot the last 5 years? That is like a mini tank. When you can go get this, it won't last 5 years, it's gonna last about a year, but you can do the Steiner for around 400, 450, or you can do the Hollow Sun 509T, somewhere between, sometimes even 300 used, but really $350, $400 right around there. Is the Aimpoint Acro worth it? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I am going to say,
yeah. You?
Yeah.
I do think it is worth it. I also do think it is expensive, but I do think it's worth it. Why do I think it's worth it? Well, it's an American company that is producing an incredibly durable optic. To me, out of the three, appears to be the most durable of the three. Also has pretty much the largest, longest battery life, followed right up with the Hollow Sun, so these two lead in that. And it is also made out of great materials, similar to the MPS and the 509T. And the additional feature that I really liked about it, which I thought was pretty cool, was the EMP protection thing that this has, which I thought was actually a pretty cool feature. But I actually do think that this is absolutely worth it, man. This is a very robust, durable, good-looking optic. This thing is gonna, this certainly right here, you know, you watch a lot of videos of a lot of stuff of a lot of different optics for the 509T, like Sage Stamps, a lot of great content on a lot of optics. But I have a feeling that this one right here, just by looking at the quality of this, is going to run. There are going to be more, to me, Aimpoint Acros P2 that are going to make it that entire 5-year lifespan, plus over something like the Steiner and MPS, just because the overall finish and build quality of this is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, the only thing I will gripe about, and it will be the one and only thing, is that I will say is going to be the packaging. So this is the box that it comes in right over here, and it's just a plain black cardboard box. It's actually not bad, honestly. It comes with a couple of things inside in regards to information, good padding and all of that. I shouldn't say it's not bad. What I'm trying to say is that it's okay. This is a $600 optic. In my personal opinion, man, when you have optics at this price range, any products in general, The experience of, and this has nothing to do with the performance of the optic, of course. This is just packaging, which has nothing to do with performance. But when you have something this expensive, to me, the packages should be just as up to par as that product in there. And if maybe not just up to par, but definitely a little nicer than this. And it should definitely have a couple of more things in there for quality in regards to that. Because part of the process of experiencing and enjoying something like this is the unboxing of it and getting all the things out of it and how it comes in. This is $600. It is a boring $600 that it's going to sit on here. It's going to work perfectly fine without giving you a problem until you got to mess with it. And that's when you're going to be like, oh, it's super nice. And then you forget about it again. It's super boring. So you would want this to be just as nice, because if not, then some people are going to be like, oh, it's like my 509T. And they might not be running these as hard as others. But this is obviously not a 509T, as it's not a MPS Steiner. This has been an absolutely amazing optic. I've had fun out there shooting it, and I'm going to continue to shoot it, and I'm going to keep it on the Staccato C2 as my EDC. And this is my current EDC setup moving forward. Love it. Absolutely love it. I greatly appreciate you guys hanging on through this entire video. If you guys really enjoyed this, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. I'm trying to continue to grow my channel. You guys have helped me to get to 3,000 subscribers, and now I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I need your guys' help to do that. Again, guys, thank you so much. Please stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day.